Hi everyone, welcome to Mock Duck Plays Games, and today I'm actually taking a look at Mr. Run and Jump, the Standard Edition and Limited Edition. It took a year, but I did finally get my Limited Edition box in the mail this week, and unfortunately it has a few issues. I wanted to show it off on stream. You can see first off that the plastic is very tightly wrapped, which, you know, my box is in generally not too bad shape, but look at it's already buckling. And you can see that over time, this plastic is going to really kill this box. On top of that, it's a little hard to see, but you can see there's a few dings that came prior to shipping. This is not box damage, this is underneath the plastic in a way that really tells me this happened prior to shipping. There's a little mark on the top there. It's a pretty decent sized ding on the bottom of the box. There we go, you can kind of see that pretty good. It's not much, but it's a little bit, and it's there. It's also buckled in. You can see a little bit on this side, and on this side, it's generally pretty good. But there is, you can see really carefully, a couple of minor scuff or kind of line marks on the side there, as well, kind of by the U. You can kind of hold it up to the light and see. I'll probably see it better when I take the plastic off, but especially because, I mean, you can just sort of see the concave nature of the box here, how much it's kind of caved in already from the plastic. And I wanted to compare that to the unopened standard edition that I also got. I got this a while back along with my Atari XP order, and this one is wrapped really nicely. This one came just absolutely perfectly. You can see there's really no marks at all on it, and the shrink wrap is perfectly weighted, I guess you could say, in terms of not crushing the box. So this one is actually going to be staying in its wrapper for a while. And my intention, because I'm not actually playing Mr. Run and Jump, was to keep this one sealed as well. But because of these box stings, and especially because of that plastic warping on it, I really want to try to take it out of the box to, yeah, I mean, you can just see it's tight. When I push down on it, it'll move a good 1/4 of an inch, and it's real tight there. And you can just see how it's taken this whole section of the box and just caved it in already. You can imagine over time what that's going to do to the box. So let's open the sucker up carefully and take a look at the inside contents of it. But I'm not going to be too delicate about the plastic here either, because this whole thing's coming off. So I don't want to damage the box, of course, but the plastic itself doesn't need to be too carefully opened here. It can just sort of come off the wrapper. And it's real thick plastic on it, too. I think that may be part of it. In general, it's good that there's a high mil plastic on it, because it's nice and thick and everything. But you can really just kind of see the damage it's already done to this box. I don't know if you can... There you go. You can kind of see it that way, how much it's already caved in a little bit. It's a hard... I'm not actually seeing it too bad on camera here when I'm looking, but you can really see it when you see it in person. So here's the Mr. Run and Jump limited edition. Looks pretty nice, except for the issues I just described. If it had shipped really nicely, it would be a nice looking box. And if you compare it real quick again to the standard edition, you'll see that other than a little bit more graphical color over the logo area and a redesign of the 2600 logo and such, and actually the lack of the ESRB, which is somewhat surprising, I guess. This is a pretty classic looking Atari box. You can see something already caused scuffing also on the back of the box here. There's a whole bunch of kind of scuff lines on the side, and some marks on the box as well. It's really a shame. I mean, I only paid, I guess this was $60. The main difference between it and the standard edition is the inclusion of a manual. But here we go. Let's open up the box. You can say it says, "Have you played Atari today?" on it. That's pretty okay. The cart itself has got a nice looking label. I assume that the label on the standard edition matches the box there as well, so a little bit different looking label there. And then the reason we paid as much as we did, we've got our manual here for Atari Mr. Run and Jump. And it looks nice. Looks nice. I have to admit the game itself is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the game. I don't want to be critical of it. Also, interestingly, look at that. It's already got a thumb mark. I did not put that there. I did not put that thumb mark there, so somehow that happened prior to going into the box as well. But it's really a shame on this box. I don't know, I wish it was coming through a little more strongly on camera here, but you can really see how it's already just buckled in on this whole lower quarter half quadrant here. There is some nice embossing, some little raised text of the Mr. Run and Jump, and that doesn't exist on the standard edition as well. But really, I'm going to say between the two editions here, the standard edition is the way to go. It's the nicer looking box, and I'm not the only one who's been reporting these dings. Quite a few of us have received boxes that have similar marks to various degrees. Mine's pretty minor, really, all said and done. You know, it's not enough that I would ship it back, but if I was at a flea market or something trying to resell this later, it is going to, you know, knock $5-10 off the price, I would think, to have some marks and such on the box. It's also interesting, you can see on the inside that they do have sort of a glue-based wrapper for the cart, but it just hangs loose. You can see it more if I flip it over there. Yeah, you see how it just hangs loose inside of the box here. This will come back in. But overall, it's pretty well made, and it's got a space for the catalog in that. It's a decent thickness of cardboard. I thought maybe the cardboard would be super thin, and that might be the cause of some of the buckling. But there we go. So this is going to end up going inside of a plastic collector's box to keep it in as good a shape as it's going to get. And since I did open it up, I'll probably end up just popping this into my 2600 Plus and play it a little bit as well. But I've played the game on the Atari VCS. It's fine. It's pretty good. It's really hard, and it's not for everyone. Not really for me, honestly. I really love that Mr. Run and Jump is here and that it's Atari's first new IP in many decades, but I have to admit the game itself is a solid B, in my opinion. It's good if you're into that kind of thing, but if you're not into that kind of thing, which I'm not, it doesn't necessarily really offer you a super exciting experience. More of a frustrating one, in my opinion. But there we go. There's a look at the Mr. Run and Jump limited edition. Finally showed up after all this time. I think really the standard edition is the way to go on this. The boxes look nicer and cost less, and do not have the shipping issues that these limited edition XP boxes had. Hard to say who's to blame here. Atari was contracting, as I understand, through Limited Run Games for these, and then eventually switched over to PlayOn. This one actually has PlayOn somewhere. Yeah, on the USA importer, on the bottom text here, it'll say it's from PlayOn. This one doesn't have any such information on it, but based on what knowledge we've been able to pick up from the Discord and elsewhere, these were most likely made, or at least they were going to be made, by Limited Run Games, and then eventually Atari has switched over, I think, largely to PlayOn for their future boxes here, just due to quality control and some other issues. Length of time for release and such that it took. This took a lot longer than the 2 to 4 months that they claimed it was going to be. So hard to say if this was manufactured by Limited Run Games and then ultimately distributed through Atari's service center, or whether perhaps PlayOn came in at the very end to deal with some manufacturing and shipping. Based on the issues I've seen, which were the same issues that we saw on the Atari 50th XP set, based on the different kind of plastic wrap that's used, although this seems to be the same plastic that I recall from the XP set as well, I'm going to say these were most likely manufactured by Limited Run Games. Probably showed up with some of these scuffs and problems, and Atari had to make a decision. Well, do we ship them out anyway, or do we redo it? And apparently they chose the former. And so some of us, at least, have decent enough boxes, and some of us have clear returns that need to be dealt with here. But there's a look at the Mr. Run and Jump, both standard and limited edition here for the channel. Thanks for watching. I usually do videos more about the Atari VCS, the new one, and the digital library that's in the VCS store. I'm going to keep doing that, and I've got Cosmic Panic up in just a little bit, in addition to a vertical shooter and some other things. There's quite a few games yet to do videos on. I just hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone who subscribed. Consider it if you haven't. And I'll have more about this sort of thing in the future. So have fun, everyone. Talk to you soon.